Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Wanted to take a minute and just talk about planer sleds. These are a couple, I'm not sure why, but I still had them in my shop from when I had the smaller joiner and the smaller planer, the lunchbox stuff. And you know, I use these all the time. A typical hobby shop will have, you know, a 6 to an 8-inch joiner or maybe no joiner, and typically a lunchbox planer, which is 12 to 13 inches. Mine was the DeWalt 735, which was 12 and a half inches, I think it was. So both of these sleds are at 12 inches or under to fit the material. I also typically use these more in my drum sander than I do in my planer. But the theory is exactly the same. So you have a piece of wood that is kind of wonky, and you need one side flat so that you can take the sled away, put the other side in, and get both sides parallel to one another at your planer. And to do this, I installed a stop at the back. In this case, this is 3/4 shop grade plywood. It's kind of garbage plywood, but it's flat, and that's really all that you need. This particular one was made out of 1/2-inch Baltic birch, which is a nicer grade of plywood, but again, it's just flat. As long as this reference surface is flat, that's all you need. It could be MDF, it could be melamine, it could be plywood like this. Whatever it is that's flat is what you need. Now from there, I will shim up to take away that rock. And you could use these little stuff I pulled out of my scrap bin, or your scrap bin, or I like to use these door shims that I buy at the big box store. They're inexpensive, but they're wedge shaped and they work out very nice. And I will literally just pop those in where they need to be. To do away with that rock. Now at that point, I would actually super glue this in. And I do that with my backstop too. That's just super glued. Maybe sometimes they're wood glued on, and I don't recall what this one is, but it's either super glued or wood glued, as long as it's stable. But I'll use super glue to glue this in, because ultimately this workpiece probably isn't to my final size anyway. So if I booger up the wood up here and tear a little fiber or whatever, that's going to get cut away anyway. A lot of people will use a hot glue gun, and there's nothing wrong with that. It does less damage to the wood. But like I said, I'm cutting this stuff away anyway, so it doesn't matter to me, and the super glue is just way quicker than getting this plugged in and fired up, and away we go. So once you have it all shimmed up and everything in place, go to the planer, get one side flat. Once that one side is flat, take it out, flip it over, get rid of this, and run this side through your planer. And that's all there is to a planer sled or a drum sander sled. The principle is exactly the same. I know there's a lot of videos out there on some really complicated planer sleds and, you know, systems and built-in jigs, and you can go down that road. I would prefer to grab some scrap in the shop and get the job done and spend less than 5 minutes setting it up to get the job done so I can move on to the next task with my project. One other little thing that I like to do is once I get these set in on the stop blocks, I actually like to toss in a couple of blocks on the sides just in case my super glue doesn't hold or something weird happens, that piece doesn't shift, which could again throw off the alignment. It's all just about holding that piece still and keep it from doing this in the planer. get your flat side, and away you go. The other thing that I will do if I was running this, whether it be the drum sander or the planer, is I would mark this all with pencil so that I know as I'm feeding through when this surface is 100% flat. When those pencil lines are all gone, I'm flat. So then I can take it out and run the other side. So that's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. Kind of a boring talky video, but I just wanted to talk about planer sleds briefly. I hope you got something out of it. If you have questions, let me know. And until next time, guys, take care.